a lot has happened, both in Star Wars and in the real world, since the last time we saw Ahsoka. Yeah, I'm going there, not even just the last episode of the Clone Wars. I'm John Barry, and today we are reviewing Star Wars The Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 5, Gone Without a Trace. This is future John Barry. Yeah, the title is actually Gone With a Trace, not Gone Without a Trace. I made a mistake. If I say it again later on in the episode, it's just because I carried that mistake on through. But let's get back to the video, shall we? So this episode is the first episode in the Ahsoka's walkabout arc of the Clone Wars. It's gonna be the middle arc of the season conclusion, the final proper season, which is gonna be very nice. But we should actually talk about the episode. And so this, I'm not sure exactly how quickly this picks up from the season finale of season 5. The first time we saw the Clone Wars had ended. Yeah, just think of it that way. Man. But that does put some things into context. So I'm not sure how long. I would say it's been at least, in-universe time, a month at least is my guess. Maybe a bit less. I'm not sure. It could be pretty soon afterwards. We just don't know. But in the real world, we've had quite a while wait to figure out what exactly happened to Ahsoka between the end of season 5 and the Ahsoka novel. We do get some hints in the Ahsoka novel, but this is really going to be delving into it, this arc, and this episode of course does as well. And also we're going to be seeing Ahsoka dealing with the fact that she's not a Jedi anymore. She may still live up to their ideals, but she's just not part of the Order anymore. She's not part of the war anymore. Granted that will somewhat change with the Siege of Mandalore arc, but we'll focus on Ahsoka dealing with the new circumstances of her life. It's almost like, probably a good comparison is kind of when somebody is done with their education, whether it was they only went up to high school and went right into the workforce, or they're pursuing a college degree. You got one thing done, now you got to transition to a whole new life. That's essentially what Ahsoka's going through. A transition in her life. She's doing something different. And that does kind of connect nicely to the fortune cookie, the nugget, if you will, whatever you want to call it, that's presented at the beginning of this episode of The Clone Wars. If there is no path before you, create your own. That, I think, is a very excellent message. There's no set path for Ahsoka now. She's not part of the Jedi anymore. So she must form her own path. She must find her own destiny. Destiny is actually kind of a big topic in Star Wars as a whole. Think of Luke, or Anakin, or even Rey. All our the main force-wielding heroes of each saga. Anti-heroes. It's kind of hard to classify Anakin, in all honesty. But they all have this concept of destiny that they have to deal with. Anakin, it's the chosen one prophecy. Luke, well, his destiny is a bit, I would say, harder to understand. But his destiny is very much connected to that chosen one prophecy and basically doing what his father could not. That's the destiny set out for him. And with Rey, well, the entire sequel trilogy is about Rey kind of, struggling to find her place. In a sense, she doesn't know what her path is, even though it is laid out for her. So she kind of has to find it. While with Ahsoka's case here, she no longer has a set path. No, it's not like she needs to discover her set path. It's not that her set path is right before her, she just needs to go on it. No, she has no path now. She must create her own. And that's what we're seeing in this episode. Where it will lead, well, the next episode in the arc will tell us, but that is where we are at. We're seeing Ahsoka finding her own place in the wider galaxy. Specifically on level 1313, which is a nice touch, because that was it was in a video game that was in pre-production or something, I don't remember, but I think that was a nice touch. And also we do learn more about how not everyone in the galaxy is that happy with the Jedi at this moment in time for the Star Wars galaxy. You know, the war really has affected the Jedi, not only themselves internally, as we've seen in other media and looking back. Even The Last Jedi does address that. The war changes the Jedi. But here we're kind of seeing how the war is changing everyone's perception of the Jedi. The Jedi are now out in the galaxy fighting a war, not really being, just the peacekeepers going around helping people. And just transitioning a moment, that's kind of how I hope the Jedi are in the High Republic publishing line. Like, they're doing what needs to be done, kind of. They're helping people who need help. That kind of thing. They're kind of wandering good guys, if you will. Really, in this episode, we do see those perceptions, and you're also, I think, seeing Ahsoka's perceptions change. Because let's remember, in Twilight of the Apprentice, the Season 2 finale of Star Wars Rebels, Ahsoka said, actually, maybe not in Twilight of the Apprentice, maybe one of the early episodes, but Ahsoka says, "I'm no Jedi." And maybe in this arc we're going to be seeing how she came to that conclusion. Though I gotta say, my personal opinion, she's still a Jedi. If anything, she's more true to the Jedi than the Jedi are, if that makes sense. It's, in a way, the Jedi have left their teachings behind, but maybe here she would rediscover kind of the heart of the teachings. Maybe not the teachings themselves like Rey has, but the heart, the core, the message, what Jedi is supposed to be. And that's just some random thoughts I have, but shall we talk about what else goes on in the arc? So, Ahsoka's on episode 1313. She meets a mechanic named Trace, if I remember correctly, and then Trace's sister, who's a bit more of a shadier character, to say the least. Trace is clearly a mechanic, and she wants, she kind of get away from episode 13. We do learn that, and kind of just, she wants a better life for herself. While her sister does kind of seem to want that, but she's much more willing to, how should I put it, engage in morally questionable activities in order to do so. That's probably the best way of putting it. And then Ahsoka just crash lands on the docking pad where Trace's ship is, because Ahsoka's speeder was malfunctioning. Actually, the animatic form of that scene of Ahsoka traveling down to level 1313 and her speaker stopping working, oh man, that came out with her speeder breaking down. That was actually released, so not much was changed from there, and that was the only part of this entire arc that I know was released. And it was a really short clip, established really nothing special. But, yeah, so those two characters, there's clearly some, I'm tripping over my words here, but I think the writers are clearly setting up, there's going to be coming a breaking point between Trace and her sister. There's going to be, I just predict that's going to come. In the future, they're going to get into an actual argument and have a disagreement that's going to separate them. And then one of them is going to need help from the other, and Ahsoka's going to be there to help patch them together. Something like that is what I'm thinking. Some kind of sisterly reconciliation, they're just nudging them along the way. That's what I think is going to happen. And then of course, during all this, Ahsoka will be finding her own path, finding herself again now that she's no longer a part of the Jedi. And yeah, she's no longer a part of the Jedi, so she kind of needs, I do wonder, what kind of restrictions does the Jedi kind of have on non-Jedi Force users? That is something I do actually wonder, because we know how they feel about the Sith and the Night Sisters of Dathomir, but what about just former Jedi who are no longer Jedi? What does that entail? Are they forbidden to use the Force? We know they don't always get to keep their lightsabers in Ahsoka's case, but in Count Dooku's case he did. Again, there's some interesting things going on there, to say the least. But, So, regardless of what the Jedi say, clearly the setting that Ahsoka's in is not a place where using the Force openly would be that good. Mainly because the people are kind of disillusioned with the Jedi, so using it openly wouldn't help. And of course, we do know that Trace, because she's become disillusioned with the Jedi because of the Jedi's involvement in the war, there's probably some propaganda being spread by Palpatine down there too to make the Jedi look bad. Because, come on, we gotta factor that in. So you can see why Ahsoka probably is not gonna be openly using the Force in this, in her arc until absolutely necessary. And I think that's gonna be another moment of conflict when Trace discovers that Ahsoka was a Jedi. Oh, is a Jedi, probably how she's gonna phrase it to begin with. I can already picture how that's gonna happen, an argument, all of that. I just picture that. But there is one thing where Ahsoka does use the Force to help pull a lifting speeder. I don't know what you call it. Its mechanical gear kind of got broke and it was starting to unwind rather than wind up. So it was going to go over the edge, and Ahsoka used the Force to get it working correctly, or make it look correct, and also use the Force to pull the speeder up. And the only person who noticed it was a little girl, which I think was a very nice touch. The little girl didn't say anything. I was kind of expecting, but what's going to happen is there's going to be rumors of a Jedi in level 1313 going around. I just picture that happening now. And then, of course, Ahsoka ends up saving Trace's life there as well. And of course, the guy encountered some low-lifting droids that have a temperament for going crazy, apparently. Who knew? But yeah. And then, of course, we know that, and there's one thing where Trace's sister has some debt owed to probably some local thug or crime boss, who knows. It's level 1313. And so the person and his henchmen come to collect. Trace's sister's not there, but Trace doesn't want to pay herself, so they get in a fight, and of course Ahsoka was told to stay out of it, so no, she was, and then tell Trace, you can, you don't have to stand around now, something along those lines. Then so Ahsoka gets in the fight, and you can tell a lot about her from there, or maybe not a lot, but it's a very neat scene though. She effortlessly stops a punch with her hand, obviously thanks to her Jedi training in the Force, and she goes on to kick the henchmen's butts, really. One of them gets hit in one area, and you can tell what area, and people say the Clone Wars is a kids show. How many kids show does that region on a male body get kicked? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's clearly, Ahsoka's fighting skills are excellent. And when Trace asks Ahsoka where she learned to fight, she said her older brother taught her. And that line there, that's how she thinks of Anakin, as an older brother. Because who else is she referring to? Obi-Wan? Not so much. But that does and that's kind of a nice way of her talking about Anakin without saying that she was a Jedi, that her master taught her or something, her Jedi master taught her. But it does tell you something, and tells you how close that Jedi masters and their apprentices can get. It's kind of like with Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan and Anakin were more like brothers. Obi-Wan said so himself in Revenge of the Sith, when probably the Reach had more of a master and apprentice relationship, probably because they were just too young. Well, Obi-Wan was probably too young to be training Anakin at that point. And kind of with Anakin and Ahsoka, kind of the same thing. Anakin was probably a bit too young to be training Ahsoka. It's just something I've observed and taken note of. But yeah, I do wonder, I wonder if any other references are going to be made. But I did like how Ahsoka referred to Anakin without talking about Anakin, referring to Anakin as her older brother. Well, that's not actually the case, but I think it does show the kind of relationship they did have. A very much sibling-like relationship. We had episodes, they had friendly competitions like you expect siblings to have. It is clear that they do have a non-typical master-apprentice, or had, I should say, they had a non-typical master-apprentice relationship. Much like Obi-Wan and Anakin's, but maybe not so much. I'm just going to go off a slight tangent here, but I feel like with Anakin and Ahsoka was Anakin and Ahsoka was like, older brother, younger sister who got along great, not too much actual true conflict between them, just, great, common, fun sibling rivalry. While with Obi-Wan and Anakin, I felt it was more like Obi-Wan's the older brother who felt like he had to grow up quicker than he needed to, so he matured quicker and is acting more like a father figure, but still is in that older brother role. But it's like everyone knows that, but not quite. That's kind of how I think it is. One's more disjointed, one's more connected. I don't know. But anything else I have to say about the episode? Actually, not too much, but apparently there is a body of water, a wolf. So that's in case you don't know what a wolf is, that's a type of port or harbor on level 1313. Who would have not surprised me, like, with actual water. I honestly did not expect to see that on Coruscant. Is it one of the few lakes remaining? I don't know. But that was a nice touch on Coruscant, but that's actually it I have. And I would like to hear from you. If you have any thoughts on the episode that I didn't mention, or you want to add on or counter something I said in my review, let me know down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. Also, be sure to check out any of the links in the description. We have my social media, Facebook and Twitter, as well as my Discord server, which is a great place just to hang out. And there's also the links for my Patreon and a few other things down below, so go check those out if you are interested. Also, be sure to like the video if you haven't already, and you can also dislike it as well. And be sure to share this video with your friends. Also, do consider subscribing to my channel and ring the bell to stay up to date on upcoming content. And feel free to check out either the video or the playlist that is on screen now. And as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.